Hey guys, you're watching Couch Surfing here with Metal Matt, and we've got a very special guest with us right now. The man, the Sydney Metal Man himself, Dave Balfour from Metal Evilution.
Wow, thanks man. What an introduction.
That's
I don't know if I'm the Sydney Metal Man himself, but I'm one of them.
Well, you're one of them. You're at least in the top 5.
Oh,
So.
Gee, wow, thank you.
Yeah. I've known Dave for a long time, guys. I've known you since I was about 18, 19, when I was pretty fresh in the scene, so crazy times.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. You've been around at many of my shows over the years.
I have, yeah.
It's been a good journey getting to know you, and I've been watching your episodes here of Couch Surfing, and
cool.
Yeah, man, it's going well.
And you're digging it. That's good.
I am, and you paid me enough money to come on, so yeah, it's all right, man.
At $5,000 loan. Dave, let's have a chat about Metal Evilution. I want to talk to you about how you first started this, how it all began. You know, you obviously started off as a punter in the scene and wanting to start helping young bands as well. How did this whole company start?
You pretty much summed it up. Being a punter, being an avid metal fan, and experiencing as many bands as I could, as often as I could. It was just everything that I loved, and you know, just a certain part of my life, I just wanted to do a bit more than be that guy in the front row headbanging until his ears bleed. I mean, I love it and I still do it, but you know, I had more than a passing interest, and I knew I wanted to step up and do something different and get involved, and I thought, hey, there's plenty of people in bands, but there isn't so many people doing the mundane stuff like organising shows and you know and handing out flyers and doing all this stuff. So yeah, I put my hand up and jumped in.
Cool. Have you got a favourite show that you've done? Look, you've done so many shows over the years, Dave, but is there like a standout show that you've done?
That I've done? Yeah, off the top of my head, I'd probably say maybe the first Metal Evilution show that I did. Yeah. I guess mostly because it was my first show as myself doing this, but also it was done as a dungeon show. So it was back at the tail end of Dungeon's career before they folded and became Lord. I actually did Lord's first show as well, first ever live show a couple of years later, which was very, it was a great memory too. But probably the first one, because Dungeon and Infernal Method were the two kind of co-headliners, and at the time they were two of the biggest bands we had in Sydney. And sure. This is pre social media, even sort of early internet era, and at the Vic on the Park in Enmore, and the place was packed. It was like 300 people there. It was ballistic, and it was off the bat. It's like, wow, this is metal promoting's easy. Look how many people come to the show. Of course, it's not like that at all. But
no, it definitely isn't.
Yeah, that was a very memorable one. Yeah, amongst others. Yeah.
Let's talk about the whole promotion side of things. You know, back then there was not much social media at all. You had to go out to gigs after shows and hand out flyers. It was a big pain back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, it was, but in many ways I still think it was better, and I think it's an approach that still works better, because the social media world is amazing in the capacity to reach people and to connect and to promote, but there's still a lot of pitfalls about how many people you're promoting to and how you got to do it, and I don't know. There's a certain connection when you're outside a show and you're handing a flyer to someone and you're talking to them and say, come see this, and they have a bit more attention than just scrolling up and down the screen. They really do. And I think that in a lot of ways, you still got to have that personal touch that the old school promoting does. So I kind of miss it in some ways. I still try to do it. You know, I won't say that it's a lot of fun sometimes standing outside a show at midnight waiting for it to finish and then getting home on a Monday night, but you know, it makes a big difference, I think.
Absolutely. I suppose let's talk about the future of Metal Evilution at the moment. I suppose this year's been hell with everything at the moment. Have you got some big plans for 2022 at the moment with live shows?
Well, I've got plans, yeah. The COVID situation has hurt everyone. Yeah. It's given me some time away to sort of just, you know, see how much I miss the live scene as well. Yeah. And there's been times in my life and doing gigs, which I started. Metal Evilution's first show was at tail end of 2003, so it's coming up upon almost 20 years. But there's been times over that period where I've needed a break, or I've been burnt out and I just wasn't into it, or but being forced to sort of just sit at home and not do any shows for months and months makes you think about it, whether one way you could just throw it away and not want to do it, or my way I feel is I want to get back into it even more so now. So yeah, I've got a lot of aspirations next year to push as many shows and get things going again.
Absolutely. Is there any advice that you give to aspiring promoters out there that want to follow in the same footsteps as yourself? I suppose you've got a lot of young kids out there want to get involved, new breed of fans out there, new breed of kids.
Don't expect to make any money, obviously.
That's true.
No, there's different reasons, I guess, why people would do it. I always just wanted to do it from a fan loving the music. And I know that there's a business side to it, as everything, and there's a huge business side to it that you can make a lot of money, I guess, if you're going up the ranks and you're willing to be one of the big players. But as far as the underground and smaller bands, which I kind of delve with most of the time, you've got to have passion for it. You got to want to just be involved and for the good of the music. And it's the most important thing is the music itself and everyone's enjoyment. And I get a lot out of that, man. Like it's if you love music and you want to do something and you don't play guitar in a band, or you want to do more than just buying records and headbanging a show, it's a great feeling to know that you can help keep metal alive and give bands a bit more appreciation.
Something you've been doing for the past few years too. You've been doing the thing called the Metal Meetup, which a lot of people in Sydney know about at the moment. You've had this thing grow ever since day one. I've only been to a few, haven't been to all of them, unfortunately. But what was your the whole concept and the whole idea around this to do this Metal Meetup?
Man, pretty much just community, I guess, is sounds cliche, but it really is.
Yeah.
It was originally actually just started as a simple idea of I'm an avid record buyer and collector as well as just gig goer and music lover. So I love going to record shops and buying records. And sometimes you go with friends, and other times you go with a couple. You go by yourself, or you might go with a couple of mates, and it's just a great experience to go and buy records, and then just maybe go to the pub across the road and have a couple of beers and check out what you got and just talk about music. And so that originally was just me with contacting a handful of friends, say, let's go to Utopia Records, which is the Sydney's premier metal shop. And let's go and have a couple of beers and get some records and talk about it. And I picked the pub across the road from Utopia because of the location, and we just had a great time, just me and a few people just talking, and let's do it again in a couple of months' time, and invited more people. And then this crazy notion of this could just be like a really cool, no bands needed social meetup for the community, and then maybe people who want to just hang out and talk and listen to music. So we just kept going to this pub every 4 to 6 months, and then more people came, and the pub got initially scared, and then they got excited, and then they gave us the whole room upstairs and let us play our music loud, and it's become this really cool gathering that I couldn't have imagined would sort of become something that people get really excited about, and I love it. And a lot of people who are maybe new to the area, or maybe new to going to gigs and don't know a lot of people, sometimes it can be very hard to sort of go to a gig by yourself and stand in the corner and not know anyone. This also gives people a chance to meet like-minded metal fans who would, most of the people that come to Meetup go to gigs anyway, so people make friends at the meetups, and then they go to gigs and they know the people there, and it's absolutely, it's cool.
Is there any plans to have another metal meetup shortly? Have you got some plans to go? Look, since restrictions have eased,
you want a world premiere? You want?
Can we?
Ready? Yeah.
Come on.
Well, there was supposed to be one actually in October, but COVID squashed that one. Yeah. And could have maybe snuck one in very soon, but you can't really do them under the guidelines of wearing masks and sitting at a table not moving, because the whole idea is to socialise. So of course, you have to have no restrictions. So next year, 100% early next year. There's already one in play, and I usually stick to 2 a year, but I'm gonna try to cram 3 in next year to make up for this year.
I think a lot of people will be wanting more than 2, to be honest. We're living in crazy times at the moment, but if people want to contact you, Dave, to obviously book a show for next year, you're obviously on Facebook, or on all the signs.
Yeah, I've got a Facebook page. I've got a couple. I've got Metal Evilution, or Steel Assassins, which is the festival I do.
Yep.
That page has got a lot of traffic on it as well. In my own page, Dave Balfour, but basically the Metal Evilution page, Steel Assassin is the best way to contact me, or you can email me at metalevolution@hotmail.com. If you want to chat about anything, I have a Twitter page, but I don't use it for some reason. I just don't really dig that site, and I never go on there. I get bored within 2 minutes. So
Twitter's a very
hardly ever update it.
Very strange platform, but it has to be used a certain way. So, but yeah, if you
maybe one day.
Exactly. Dave, thank you so much for this chat. We've got the cat here too.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dave, and stay tuned for more stuff from Dave.
Stay metal.
Thank you.